Flory Models daily vlog. Here we are on the 2nd of October 2015, and today's been review day, catch up day, and everything else being the end of the week. So what have we got for you this week? Two different types of kits, I must admit. Down here we got the Space 1999 Deluxe Transporter. Now this all came about because of this little guy. To be honest, my parents are moving house after many years. They found this up in the loft, which used to be mine, one of my treasured things as a young kid, and it still works and everything, and they brought it round. On that same day I happened to be looking around the internet and saw that, so consequently I thought, oh yeah, let's go and have a look. It's basically a very basic, think Mobis but worse, kit, but it's a good starting tool. We spoke about this recently with various kits, using them as like the framework to move on. This is definitely one of them. I think you could detail this a lot more, improve the kit and all the rest of it. You get lots of resin extras with this one. It's resin casting as well as injection molding in that one, but definitely, as you can see down here, this isn't the kit, by the way. This is the ones from the real program, but certainly I think it's a good starting point, and definitely one of those builds that I wouldn't necessarily run out and do. It'd be one of those things where if I wanted to do something different, I would probably throw myself into that quite heavily, try and detail it, try and improve the kit and everything else like that, but definitely something a little bit different. So you can watch the review, that's up on the internet now, and obviously it's in the review section on Flory Models, okay? Then we've got something equally as weird and wacky. This is the Russian What If tank. It's basically a, what would you call it, an optical laser system. Okay, this thing is designed to blind missiles, tanks, aircraft, whatever it needs to defeat optical weapons. Okay, so basically it's got a bank of lasers which, you know, target a weapon system or a platform and things like that, and technically blind it. There was only ever two ever built. One, I don't know what happened to. The second one is in a museum. Trumpeter for some reason jumped on it. So if you ever fancy doing one of those sort of what if things, then obviously that's definitely the one for you. As I said, I don't know my armour well, and I came off quite bad when I watched myself back over it trying to explain it, because obviously it's using a lower hull from an older kit, and they've got the new turret on the top, and there's a few little extras. So technically what you've got is this lower part, which whatever tank it's from, sorry, but with a new turret. So the new turret, but the plastic is very reminiscent of Hasegawa and things like that. Then we got something for the kids, okay, as promised. So we've been working on this guy. Now this, again, all those naysayers out there, have you actually seen one of these? This thing is, and my favourite, absolutely brilliant. I love the moulding, the casting and all the rest of it. And again, you know, we were talking about, obviously with the Eagle Transporter, about, you know, upgrading it. Technically there's no real detailed images of all of this stuff yet, but I'm assuming that some parts of this could be a little bit more detailed, and it wouldn't be a rocket scientist to actually turn this into something else by going in, filling and sanding some of these things. As you can see down the back here, this is where obviously the battery's installed and things like that, but generally, yeah, you're looking around this, you can actually see it's really nice. And down here in the cockpit, I don't know how well the camera can pick it up. Actually, I think the detail is very good. You know, it's no problems with it at all. It'll be very easy to modify, upgrade, fix and go through it and make real changes to this. And again, a starting blocks for you guys who like your props and motion things and stuff like that. I think this is actually really good. It's a lot better, to be honest, than the X-Wing is, because the X-Wing looks a little bit plasticky and all the rest of it that we did last week. This guy certainly doesn't, and its scale and its, you know, everything about this to me screams out quality. So all those naysayers were like, oh, Revel, it's rubbish, it's crap. Honestly, I go and get it. This stuff is dirt cheap. It goes together, but trust me, I think with a repaint, some weathering, a little bit of artistic license, a couple of filler jobs around the back here, things like that, I think it would make a fantastic display model. So definitely a highlight. So that's up on the internet as well. This one's a free to watch, as all are these ones. Don't forget, it's just the full builds that you actually have to subscribe to see those. All of these are free for obviously our junior members to watch at their leisure and everything else. But I'm telling you guys, don't be put off by this stuff. It's actually very good. What I'm actually going to do, this stuff here, I'm thinking about attacking this and upgrading it. The trouble with this guy is these intakes, they look a little bit plasticky and a couple of points on it, but basically it is these intakes and these nozzles at the back. I'm thinking about repainting them, getting some metallizers on this thing excuse me, The couple of ejector pins down the bottom here, I think they'll be easy to sand and fill. And then if you wanted to, just fill this guy down here, get rid of this altogether, put it on a stand, you know, the gear and all the rest of it. And I think it would actually make something very, very nice, and definitely it's all there, if you know what I mean. So next week, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to repaint these intakes, give it a bit of a paint job, a few little filler things like that, and then I'm going to wash it and weather it, because I think it'll just be a couple of hours work and come out with something really, really good. So my plan for that one. And then the week after, we're going to do the TIE Fighter. So this is really going to cover very basic weathering and sorting out and stuff like that, i.e. we're going to just put the Flory Models washes over it, highlight detail, and go through it all like that. Spinning around like a good one down here is completely finished and all done now, is our Red Bull RB6. I know I had it the other day, but we're capping off. The gloss work, to be honest, is lovely and it's self-leveled and gone down, so even a couple of the fingerprints I nastily put in it have gone now, and that's the beauty about this. It takes its time to settle down. Thoroughly enjoyed the build, couple of little schoolboy errors, but even they're fixing and going down now. They're starting to self-level and everything go down, and that's the beauty about putting a tiny bit of activator into this, so it slows down the drying time, so you can just leave it now and it will sort itself out. And that's very reminiscent of when we did the Ducati, because I had a couple of little marks on the Ducati. Now it is completely flawless up there, so I'm very, very happy with it. So generally no problems with this one at all. We'll just spin around a little bit more. There we go. So very, very happy of how that one turned out. We're pushing ahead massively, as you can see down here. This is our Starfighter. We've been doing seam checks and everything else like that on this one this morning. A couple of you mentioned that the instructions are wrong. Yes, you're right. Have I got the instructions here to show you? Actually, funny enough, that's handy. This part here, it's talking about putting this instrument panel in and all the rest of it afterwards. Fear not. I know some of you mentioned in the forum that it doesn't fit. It does. You just need to be a little bit clever with it. Okay, so as you can see, I'm exactly the same as it is, but this guy, what you want to do, my control stick is straight in the vertical, okay, but what you actually do is you place this in and you twist it around and it fits in there just like that. It's not a problem. And then this guy then fits in the top, okay, goes on, and there's your instrument panel in there. So don't worry about not getting it past that stick. And to be honest, my control column is in the vertical, but you can just twist it round and you can get it in there. It's not a problem. But some of you were mentioning on the forum that it doesn't go and it doesn't fit. It does. It just takes a bit of wiggle room to get it in there. It's not quite as easy as they say about pushing it in and it goes down. Push this bit in first, then put the actual coaming on the top, okay? That way you'll be absolutely fine. But this guy's coming along nicely. We speak about it, well, this morning when I was working on this one. The nose is just got to be fitted on, okay? So that's going to go on there just like that. We're going to get glued that one into position. We can get the wings on, but we were saying this was going to be a very quick build. And as you can see, it's not going to take much, goes the nose off, to get this one finished up. So next week, metallizers, in with the old AK stuff, got it all down here, really looking forward to it, so we can push on with those and get them in. And then if you missed it yesterday, the next build, which will be starting Monday, Tuesday, will be the old Helix, okay? Congratulations for everyone who voted on this and to Hans for championing it. So obviously we're going to move through with that one. And then the Meng or Mong or Mang, apparently, I don't know. I think it's Mong, definitely Mong, M-U or M-O, the way they pronounce it, is for the Terminator, which is this guy here, which is going to be our next armor build, okay? So what's going to happen, somebody asked me last night, is that as soon as the Starfighter's finished, I will then start onto the actual Terminator, and we're going to work our way through that one. It shouldn't be too bad, quite straightforward on that, but it's all going to be about weathering and camo and all those things, and we're going to make our way through. The RB6, I finished it, so now, my wheel alignment's a bit off there, so that's actually finished now, but obviously you're going to catch up, so there's still going to be another 2 parts of that, which you're going to get on Mondays. Starfighter to be Tuesday. As soon as that one's done, we'll be into the Terminator, and obviously with the Helix and things like that. So that's how it's going to work. Very straightforward, no problem at all. So there we go. It's been a great week for me, finishing things off, getting lots of things in the bag and everything else like that. So what I'm going to do now is leave you with some of your great finishes from this week. So until next week, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.